Hey guys, finally new Transformer characters. I've been waiting to do this guy for months and months, but Revenge of the Fallen bypassed me and I just had to make those characters. So this is Transformers Lego Stratus-Fire. So, here's Stratus-Fire. His name comes from Stratus-Fire, which is, high in the air, the stratosphere, and then Fire, meaning he's a military vehicle. He's one of the 3 military brothers that I have to show you, but I'll get to those in their own little show you my creation videos. But he's not the leader, but he is my favorite, and that's why I'm starting with him. As you can see here, he looks very nice in this jet mode. I really like how he turned out in this mode. Even though he's got the studs on his wings and up here, he still looks very nice. Now he's very fragile because he's just strictly Legos. No glue, no nothing like that. But he is very fragile, and I don't like that too much. I like a solid Transformer. So I'm thinking maybe of gluing this guy together just because he's so awesome. I'm still deciding on the other brothers. But before I do so, I'm going to ask, after this video, post in the comments, I'm going to ask you, do you want instructions? Say yes or no in the comments. And if some people say yes, I'll make instructions. If you say no, well, then I won't. And I'll glue this guy together right away, so he's not as fragile. So he's about a deluxe size, and the only thing I have in vehicle mode right now to compare him with is G1 Prime. So, yeah. He's about a deluxe class sized here. So, I'm just going to get to the transformation. Be wary that pieces are doomed to fall off. I swear, this thing it's impossible for pieces not to fall off during the transformation. And it's just a little bits, like his wings and some of the panels in here, and this part right here, it always falls off. So, it's probably going to fall off several times during this, show you my creation video. Oh look, another piece fell off. Oh look, another piece. How wonderful. Granted, these hinges here don't actually contribute to the transformation. They're just there so these can angle out. And that's about it. But you take off his gun here, which is his turbine, and it's a little Gatling gun thingamajigger. And now you're ready for transformation. And there is his robot mode. Now, I do really like this guy. I don't know, he looks very cool. He's sort of bounty hunter looking, how he's sort of hunched to the ground and looks like he'd be sly and sneaky. I don't know why. It's just how I see him. In the back, everything is all is well in the back. Now, the one thing I'm not too fond of is these. They're the sides of the jet, and that's actually really the only kibble he has. So, yeah, I mean, if you call the wings kibble, sure, there's that, but that's really all the kibble there is. So his head here, it's sort of like a visor sort of thing, where his head is like low to the ground and then it's a visor. I guess if you wanted to look really dorky, you could have his head up like this and be a Cyclops weirdo. But I think he looks much, much cooler like this. And his head has to be thin for it to fit in vehicle mode. Now, his gun here, it's a little Gatling gun like I said. So his hands are clip joints, and this is the end of a crane thing with this pegged on. So it's the end of a crane, the hook would go there. I've removed the hook and put this on, so now it's his gun. There is a tiny hole on top, but I will explain that in a second. So it just clips on his hand and it ratchets up. And thankfully he can actually point his gun at something. Though unfortunately his arms are really the only bit of articulation that is really worth it. I mean, he does this, and that's about it for leg articulation. As I said before, this joint here was only to make the wings, the little fins here, angle out. And it pulled that off very well. Verily. Hello, I am IXRollOutIX, and I make up words. Now, why there's the hole in the gun is because if you don't want him gunning down bounties, you can have him have his gun peg onto his back like that, and that's why the hole is there. Is because the two little pegs here peg into the hole, so we can store it on his back. Oh yes, so again it is time for size comparison. Now here he is with G1 Prime in robot mode. As you can see, he is reduced in size. Very much actually. Because he actually decreases in size during transformation, because it's basically you rotate this around, give him arms, and you completely erase the nose cone instead of adding more height. So he really gets short in robot mode. But as you can see, here he is with Prime. And obviously Prime reigns supreme in heights. So that's about it for Stratus-Fire. He's really cool. He's my favorite of the three. Definitely. He just looks so cool in robot mode. So make sure before you leave to comment yes or no if you want instructions. I really would appreciate that. And also, if you can, if you know, take the time to tell me what kind of jet he is. I'd really appreciate that. So, this is IXRollOutIX, signing off.